Hi, this is Cheryl with the Cut at Home Design Team. Today I'm here with a felt tag. Yes, you heard that right. It's a felt tag. Did you know that you can use your dies to cut felt? This set that I'm working with today is the Sizzix Framelits with Stamps by Stephanie Ackerman. It's called Snowman and Tag, so it gives you the tag part, the snowman, his cute little hat, and a scarf, along with some stamps you can use with it when you're playing with paper. But again, today I'm working with felt. The felt that I'm working with is a wool felt. If you haven't done this before, wool felt is pretty dense. It's fairly thin, or sometimes you'll find very thick wool felt. It varies quite a bit. It's different from that stuff we buy in the craft store. It's a little nicer quality, so to speak. But very, very easy to use. You're going to load this in your die cutting machine, same as you would any paper. You're going to place your die cutting side down and cut away. It's just so simple. Not a problem for our Sizzix Big Shots at all. Now, to build the tag, first thing you want to do is assemble the pieces on the felt to make sure you've got the lineup okay. So I start with my snowman body and I add the little hat to make sure I haven't got him too high on the tag. He looks pretty good there. So I'm going to take the hat off. I would thread up my needle with white thread, and if you can see on this one, I have small stitches just holding them in place all the way around. Now once I've got the snowman sewed down, I'm going to load up my thread or my needle with black thread. And by the way, I'm using a crewel needle for this because a lot of times the embroidery floss, you want a couple of strands, or I'm even using a lightweight pearl cotton, a number 12. And to do that, a crewel needle is easier. They have bigger eyes, so they're much easier to thread. So with this, I'm just going to lay the hat in place on the head, and I'm going to stitch it down. For my guy's little eyes, I chose to use some black seed beads. So you'd want to grab the black seed beads while you're in the area with your black thread and go ahead and sew those into place as well. Once I've got my hat in place, I need to move to my scarf. Now my scarf, essentially I just used red felt, so it comes out plain red. You can see on the reverse side, which is actually the right side for this, I used a pen to add some lines. Now I'm not finished with this one, but I wanted you to see kind of the way the scarf seems to go. You have the two ends flipping over the top, and then just this part of the end is around his neck. So you can see on this one it's fully marked. I've got those lines in, and I also did an extra stitching line down the center here to add some detail. So again, you're going to sew your red scarf in place. Then that leaves you to decorate his face. If you use the beads like I did, the eyes are in place. I used a paint pen to add his little cheeks. They're a little bright pink, but that's okay. It's cold outside. And then finally, I cut just a little corner of orange felt to serve as the nose. For that, I glued it down. I didn't want to stitch it because you can see stitching flattens things a little. So I just left it glued so it's a little more dimensional, as a carrot would be. Then the last thing to do is you're going to put a second layer on you're going to cut a second tag and put it on the back. And then you're going to do this blanket stitch around the edge. If you haven't done blanket stitch before, it's very, very easy. Just go to YouTube and look for a video on it. I'm sure there are several out there. But that way you get a nice clean finish, front and back, and you have a darling little ornament that can hang on your holiday tree. So keep in mind, all of our Sizzix dies and many, many of the others cut felt just as easily as they cut paper. Please be sure and join me on the Cut at Home blog, where you'll see this tag, as well as another one that's a little more subtly finished. With this, I wanted you to see the dark stitches, and they're a little exaggerated so you could tell what kind they were. That'll be a little more subtle, as well as a card where I used some of the fun stamps in this set. Thanks for watching. Bye.